Welcome to the Nobody Tells You This podcast, where we will be debunking popular health myths, fads, so that you can get fact from fiction and make informed health choices. Join us every month for new episodes. Welcome back. We promised you an episode on thyroidism because it is the awareness month this month, September 2024. And here we are back with Nobody Tells You This podcast. Over to you, V.
Hello, everyone. We are on the special episode, as Rav said, on the Thyroid Awareness Month on thyroid. We will be talking what is the role of thyroid in our body and why we actually talking about it.
So I have loads of women that come present to me with some form of thyroid issue, and that's with my private patients and also my NHS patients. But as a nutrition coach, I've not really looked much into it. And so when V said we'll record, I was like, okay, I'm going to interview you because I'm learning. I don't know much. So yeah, over to you. What is the thyroid?
Thyroid is the most important endocrine gland in our body. It resides here, and where there is balance, and it produces all the hormones, hormone-inducing glands in our body. All the chemicals are regulated by this. All the hormones are regulated by this, and it's a very, very important part of our body. All the organs, the cardiac, the digestive health, the fertility, our mental health, they all get our bone health. They all are regulated by the thyroid.
That's just immense. Yeah. So I know it as people either gaining weight or losing weight. And fatigue, that's what people say to me, that's how it affects them. But this is that's a lot.
It's a lot, and it gets ignored easily. We never think thyroid can actually cause an issue, but it can impact a lot of organs, and it happened to both men and women. If we go 100 patients on thyroid, a good 70%, 60% is women, and the rest is men. But men do have thyroid problem, but mostly it's hypothyroidism.
That was going to be one of my questions, because I mainly know for women, is it for men as well? Yeah. Okay, so we know where it is, we know what it does, and it does a lot. I've mentioned a few symptoms that my patients have told me, but how would somebody know if they have a thyroid?
So the main symptoms, so first of all, thyroid is two types, how it impacts. So there is a science behind it, is TSH, T3, one of the level goes up, other goes down, and that's how we see is a thyroid levels abnormal.
I've heard of those.
Low thyroid, if the one of the levels are down, then we know it's a low thyroid. Low thyroid symptoms mostly are tiredness, sleeping, extremely lethargic all the time, lack of focus as well, weight gain as well, and you feel cold. You start to feel body. If someone never that cold, you extremely feel cold all the time. That's the main changes, and your bones start to hurt as well at the same time. That's for hypo. With hyper, it affects the heart more than anything else. So women will feel anxiety and palpitation on a higher rate as well. It affects the digestive system more. So bowel movement, more going to toilet. Every time you have a meal, you go to toilet, and then from there, women lose weight as well. Temperature-wise, mostly women feel hot, but it's not necessary. Some feel more hot or cold. And the same weight, it can go opposite in both as well. But mostly women that's the main symptoms. And again, tiredness as well, and sleeping issue.
So those are the common symptoms. There'll be more nuanced ones. I'm actually really surprised. So many of these are disguised with getting older, being stressed. These just seem like really common lifestyle symptoms.
No, the thyroid is not related to getting older. These days, women in 20s are on thyroid medication.
Okay.
So 20s and 30s.
And is that common?
It's common. From 30s, late 30s is more common. Women start to get diagnosed with thyroid, but there is quite a good number of women who are in 20s and they are on thyroid medication. And as well, it can impact our fertility as well. And it can come from fertility. You gave a birth and you got diagnosed with thyroid.
There's so much out there now, obviously for women and fertility. So do you think the diagnosis has been on the rise, on the increase?
Yeah, it is on the increase. More women are having it now, the thyroid problem, than before. And what happens, I got thyroid. I go hypothyroidism. I go hypothyroidism. My mom have thyroid. So genetics does play a role, but not necessarily. That was my other
question. Is it hereditary? Is it influenced by genetics?
So genetic does play a role, but not necessary. So if my mom had it, so I had early age, but I still didn't have until I gave birth to my son. And
so you might have had it. So it showed up
was
in
under.
pregnancy, but it was there underneath happening.
Yeah.
before. Okay.
But it could be in my genes. Maybe I was going to impact from thyroid, but my lifestyle impacted it.
Okay, so that's my next question is like, why do you think that why do we think it's on the increase, the diagnosis?
Yeah. So
or the occurrence of it? Like, why are we getting it
our
more?
diet and lifestyle is more. First, I'm going to go a little bit on the diagnosed side of it.
Yes.
Then we go why it's happening now or how we can help.
Brilliant.
So the diagnosed side is, so anytime, I think everyone should have blood test from their 20s.
Tell you every time.
Any changes you see in your body suddenly, no, that's not normal. Always have blood tests, because thyroid mimic the symptoms of vitamin D, iron profile, and other hormone changes.
Because I've had these symptoms with my lower iron.
Yeah. And it's very important to get them checked, and then when the levels would know what's happening to them, and then you can get a treatment plan for it as well. It's very, very important. And then lifestyle and stress really impact it.
Yes.
So I can give my personal example. I had my genes, but that's different. But when I gave birth, my life got busier, my hormones got changed. I had more stressful life. I was a busy working full-time mom.
Very common as a new mum.
Yes. And then it came out. It showed up. I was on a higher dose, 100 microgram, and then slowly a balance. I manage everything. I know what I need to do, changes in our body. I still on medication, 12.5 microgram, half tablet of 25 I take, but I will keep that baseline, and I'm having my regular blood test.
So it's like a maintenance dose for you.
Maintenance dose for me. If I have a nice, relaxing life, not doing a podcast or a business, or children are all settled, then I may come off the tablet, but I know I will mess it up. So this is my baseline, and then I have my regular blood test, but I'm working on other things in my body as well.
So, oh my God, that's really good to know, like that people can manage down the level of medication. And also, I think it's really important that we remind people that medication is a great tool to support your well-being. And you use it until you can decrease it, like what we've done.
So medication is to manage the symptoms. That's what it does, and control the further harm in the body. Because if I wouldn't control my thyroid levels, I don't bring them normal, it's going to impact my heart, my bones, my other organs. So it's very important. My thyroid levels need to be normal, but not everything can be done by my diet and lifestyle. So I'm having a little bit of medication, but I still need to work on my diet and lifestyle. I can't solely rely on medication. And I always say, as a pharmacist, 80% your diet and lifestyle, 20% is your medication. They go hand in hand.
It's a collaboration. That's also a very holistic approach. It's using the best of what you can do.
And so I can come off, but I'm not ready. I maybe come off once my things go calm down, retire or something. But at the moment, I know this is safe for me, and I'm maintaining. And same for every patient. Hyperthyroidism is very hard to manage. So because hyperthyroidism impacts a lot of others, and with the medication, it's hard to control. So when a patient's levels are higher, we refer them to endocrinologist. They go to the endocrine clinic, they have a consultant, and their dose is managed very specifically, because the symptoms can be very drastic and they can cause more damage to the body in the future as well. It can lead to iodine levels abnormal, thyroid cancer, as we go Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month this month. So it's very important to keep that balance under a consultant advice, but you still need diet and lifestyle to keep it on the bay. And
I think you were saying that is that the one that impacts the heart?
It impacts the heart.
Which I didn't know. So I think that's really important to know. And what we're saying, that it can go unnoticed, but if you get those regular bloods, you're more likely to pick it up and then get the right consultation and support
as well. And sometimes younger women in 30s, they're on the fertility journey and they go overactive thyroid, and we have to be very mindful what medication they can have or not. So we have to really support them with a lot of lifestyle advice, diet, so they can slowly reduce the dose, because some medication they cannot have while they're pregnant or they're planning the baby as well.
That brings me to the increase of diagnosis impacted by our lifestyles, and we see so much information now about fertility, and you know, women aren't conceiving and leaving it later to conceive, etc., etc. So like all these things are connected. Tell us a bit about that. Like, what is it about our lifestyles now that's making these diseases show up?
First of all, cortisol level, our stress, regulator. It's not culprit, it's a regulator. But we torture cortisol so much.
It's got such a bad reputation as a stress hormone.
Yeah, but if we abuse it so much and it just stop working, and then it's just do whatever you want to do, and then what happens?
Malfunction.
Yeah, it's malfunction, and then our cardiac, digestive, our heart, everything, thyroid.
We are going to do a special episode on cortisol. It's something we're focusing on within our menopause community.
Yeah.
But it's so multi-dimensional. So we're abusing it by putting ourselves into states of stress because of the way the world is at the minute. So not putting ourselves, but we are in receipt of stress. And what is that doing in our bodies?
So what it's doing is, because cortisol manages the thyroid as well, because it's all chemicals and neurotransmitter. They're giving message to each other and they balance our hormones, hypothalamus, the pelvic, everything is get regulated. When cortisol is not functioning properly, the thyroid is not getting the additional support, and that's where it get messed up and the levels go up and down, and it's impacting our digestive then, and that's why we eat mindlessly and we eat rubbish, and then we gain weight or digestive issue. And same goes to anxiety and palpitation to the heart, and then the mental health and low mood, emotional as well. And it's very important to regulate cortisol. And how we do it, the first part of diet and lifestyle and changes, emotional well-being. Emotional well-being is not just we're doing meditation.
It's not fluffy.
It's not fluffy woo-woo.
It's real.
And a day, 10 minutes a day, we need to regulate our nervous system. It's very, very important. It's not like, because if I got mental health problem, then I should regulate my nervous system. Every human being, including children, young age, we need to regulate our nervous system. When we regulate our nervous system, and how we do it, just sitting and giving time to ourselves and connecting. And then you can add a meditation, a prayer, or a breathing exercise. Sitting alone on your own, not on phone, not to talk to anyone, that will really bring it down. Once it bring it down, then cortisol and thyroid and all the chemicals start to balance all, and then they flow very easily from one nerve to the other. Harmony, and then from one organ to the other, and that's how it does. And 10 minutes is nothing a day. And we all must do it. If you go busy day, it's very important you do more. In
the prevention of and the management of diseases, V and I will say this in every episode. Emotional regulation, nervous system regulation is so important.
And it's for your well-being of your organs and for your health. That's the one thing.
And you said something about the synapse.
That's exercise.
Oh, okay. I can't wait for that one. That's one thing I've learned today. Well, I've learned lots of new things today. And in terms of nervous system regulation, we talk about it for weight loss, all health conditions. I'm teaching it to my children. Children where their brain hasn't fully developed, they need more of that regulation, which is why they can get stimulated a lot. But what V said about the 10 minutes, that's going to allow you to notice your symptoms, to pick up the things that are happening in your body.
And you slow down, and slowly, automatically, it will balance it up.
And pick the thing that works for you. So V has a different routine to me, and we were saying it doesn't have to be perfect. This miracle morning.
No.
It can be your prayer, it can be meditation. For me, I do on my heart, my hand, on my chest. I teach this to my patients and just say, I'm safe. You look over your shoulder. It literally activates safety in your nervous system. Barefoot walking on the grass, hugging trees. So many options. Pick the one that you're likely to practice, and don't wait for the emergency, the crisis, the cortisol to spike. Practice it in and around your daily routine, so that it becomes more embedded in your system, so you're able to use it when there is a genuine stressful crisis and your cortisol is going.
And then the organs learn to manage it better as well. At the same time, we're teaching them
we're
training them. And same goes for exercise. So exercise is not to lose weight.
Number 2, this is what we're giving you advice. So number 1, emotional regulation. Number 2, exercise. It shows up again.
And exercise is not to lose weight or get fit or slim or lose calories. Exercise, the main movement aim is to regulate the chemicals in the body. So how it's a simple example I was saying to you earlier. Well, the podcast didn't record it. So what happens is when we got uric acid, they all produce. And what happens is when our body is in sort of a deposition or really going low and crying for help, and organs will say, our heart, our digestive system, bones are asking the thyroid and cortisol, give me some help, give me some chemicals. I'm struggling here. There is nothing left, but I need to pump some chemicals to process this body. And the thyroid is saying, I got nothing left. I'm already unregulated. Cortisol say, I am unregulated as well. This person is doing all the mess can do. And that's what happened. But what exercise do is we go acetylcholine synapses of the nerves with each other. When we're doing the movement in the body, the flow really goes from these receptors, acetylcholine, all the nerves from the thyroid, and they start get excited and they produce more chemicals.
I love this.
And then they say to the heart, yeah, I got some, you have some. And they say to the digestive system, you can have some as well. Cortisol is so happy, go lucky, dancing in the body, and urate levels are fine. Calcium is producing in our body. Bone health is getting healthy, and the body feel better. And
you never regret a workout.
You will never regret a workout. It could be a fast-paced walk. It could be just fast walk. If you can't do due to the physical capacity, exercise. Always say PE. Just start to do your PE.
Yes.
Movement somehow you are doing to your body. That's all it is.
So I love talking about exercise for our well-being, not just your body shape, because your body size doesn't tell you anything about your health, really. That's where and I will always emphasize, get those blood works done.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Your blood works are more indication of your health. Your size is just determined by many things.
Yeah.
But exercise being a tool for well-being. But these things, I didn't even know this, and I've studied.
Very simple. Yeah.
The idea of how much more of it does. And in my 40s, I'm learning this. I obviously like working on fat loss, muscle building, because I know I'm investing in my future self. But I don't regret a workout. And now I see why, like when we're moving, it's so important. It's for so much more than just losing weight.
It's not losing weight. Exercise is very important to regulate the chemicals. And then the next, this is the exercise. So start moving however you feel comfortable, 10 minutes a day. Don't go for an hour and half an hour first. Yeah. Start 10 minutes, 10 emotional, 10 exercise. Coming back to the nutrition now.
Woo! So obviously there's always going to be a nutrition part. Again, I had to kind of read up a bit and like recheck some things, and we had a conversation beforehand. But with regards to nutrition, some of the top ones, and we're going to always say this: hydration, stay hydrated, support your gut bacteria. There's so much research on this now, but simple things like probiotics, prebiotics, live yogurts, eating fermented foods. You've got all these things like sauerkraut, kimchi. But these are going to populate your gut, and fiber. I cannot emphasize this enough. We're meant to have 25 grams a day. Most people are getting 5, but you can even get things like psyllium husk, super affordable. Punjabis call it isavagol. Yeah. But get that fiber intake, so support that. And omega-3s. Yes. Omega-3s we love for so many reasons.
For bone health as well, and our hormones health as well.
And then the other one was selenium, and I love this little thing about selenium and Brazil nuts. And I don't know why it stuck with me when I did my nutrition education.
Selenium regulates our thyroid and iodine levels in the body, and hyperthyroidism patient, we do give them selenium as a selenium supplement on prescription under consultant. They do get, because what it does, it's not like up and lower the levels, is to balance the thyroid, because thyroid is not stimulating properly.
So so they work together.
And
this always fascinating.
Combination with the zinc. Don't start to go and buy supplements now from Amazon and that. We have enough in our diet, what we need, very minute quantities we need. So just as long as you have a nutrition in your body, the leafy vegetables, the kale, spinach, all these rich in that, because they all combine together and make a good phytoestrogens from the seeds and the nuts as well. That's why seed cycling is very important, having a right combination.
Which we're doing at the moment, and it's backed by science in our mineralized community. We've got the ladies on the seeds.
Yes, and then obviously omega acids as well. They're good for the bone health, and have a good nutrition. 80% good nutrition, 20 naughty you still can have, but it's a daily part of your body as well.
Yeah, and we look at it as, what can you add? Can you add some nuts? Can you add some seeds? We're not saying go now and become a saint. This is like everybody's line. Don't have to be a saint.
Yeah,
but it's never going to be a disadvantage to nourish your body.
It's never going. You will never.
For all diseases.
Yeah,
we will say it: prevention, management, hydration, nutrition, movement.
Yes, and these 3 things. 80% of your lifestyle is done to manage your thyroid, and 20% medication can help. But 80% lifestyle can keep it on the bay, so you don't get diagnosed with it.
Like V's doing, she's got the 80% lifestyle control, and then still using that medication to keep that maintenance and safety levels for her thyroid.
And why I'm doing for my future health, my elderly
Yes.
age, because I may not, it not impacting me, but if I avoid it now and just rely solely on my diet and lifestyle, but my future, my heart, my osteoporosis, all these things, I will struggle after 50s, and I need to look after myself now.
And nobody really tells you this. They
No.
either go extreme one end or the other. We say use it as a collaborative approach. Medicine with holistic approaches. Do what's best for you and your lifestyle. V said it, and she's not going to be in retirement any minute now.
Yeah.
So she's got to do what's going to work for her life.
Yes, that's very important. But if you have any questions, do ask us. Do share with your friends and family, because you would find out how many women in your friends and family circle have thyroid.
Yeah.
If you got any question, obviously ask us the question as well, and share our podcast, please.
We've loved this episode. I hope you've learned as much as I have. And yeah, look out for the people around you. Encourage them to get those checks. And don't forget to drop us a message, like, share, and spread the word.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Don't forget to share. What did you think of this episode? And click subscribe, like, comment, and share for updates on future new episodes.